Okay, hey, we are live with Sarah with Aero Workflow, and we're going to learn more about their app today. So what do we got? What's Aero about?
Aero is designed to help a firm, an accounting and bookkeeping firm, define what they do and how to do it, and then take those defined processes, schedule them, assign them to staff, and then on the flip side, track and see results, see profitability, efficiency, productivity, all of that information. So a typical day in Aero might be someone logging in, seeing their list of everything they need to get done today.
Okay.
It can include email, so Aero integrates with both Office 365 and Gmail.
Awesome.
It can include appointments. It also, of course, includes tasks.
And one thing it took me a while to figure out, so Aero is a task.
And Aero is a task. It's also an app.
Yes, it's also an app, but that is the core of what you guys are.
Yes.
And the reason, when you see those little arrows, they're tasks.
And the reason we call them arrows, not tasks, is because an arrow can also be an email. Yeah. It can be an appointment. It can even be a little note that you're passing around the firm. So it's anything that takes firm resources and time to complete. So.
And it's been a while since I've seen it, so yeah, I see there's time associated with those tasks.
Right. So you have your step-by-step checklist, and this is the task I started earlier and didn't finish. Okay. So now I know where to pick up and check off my task. As I'm working and checking off steps, you'll notice that the name of the step is copied in the time notes. So Aero's creating time notes for you.
Right.
And the timer's running. That time is available to sync to QBO. Aero syncs with QBO, so your clients sync back and forth, and you can have time. You can have all your time tracking entries sync to QBO and be available for billing or payroll. Up to you. But we track time automatically for everything: fixed fee, billable, admin work.
I mean, how else are you going to know if you're profitable?
Right.
And if everything is, if you priced it right, if you're working right, all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and that's how we're giving you visibility into the firm's profitability and efficiency.
And I think, some of the sessions I've been to the past couple of days, you can't scale unless you have someone in charge that's watching to see if you are running the business well.
Right.
And able to grow. Otherwise, while you can do flat fee any day, if you're not, if you're using all your time, you can't grow anyway.
Right. Well, and that's the reason you want to define your services this way with checklists and templates, because that's how you scale.
Yes.
I mean, you start off maybe as a sole prop and you know how to do everything. Maybe it's two of you. You have a couple of partners.
Yeah.
But that is locked up and in one person.
Right.
So you can't clone yourself, right?
Yes.
And so Aero is basically allowing you to clone yourself. It's taking your knowledge capital, defining it, and scaling your firm.
Awesome.
So other things, the other part of a task window like this is that we're giving you resources to complete the task. So we have links. You can link to a firm procedure guide with more detailed information about how to do some part of the task. Links to maybe log on. So reconciliation task, pop open, if I were logged in, pop open a screen, the reconciliation screen in QuickBooks. In addition, client information here, including an activity history, all the client tasks, emails, notes from phone calls, easily searchable, and a vault. So doing bookkeeping accounting work for our client involves a lot of little tiny pieces of information.
Yes.
And you need to have those when you're doing work for the client, but you want them to be secure. So maybe an Excel spreadsheet isn't the best place to put them.
Correct.
So we have a vault where you can store usernames and passwords, tax ID numbers, checking account information.
Okay.
Also those bits of data. When does their fiscal year end? What is their capitalization threshold? What kind of tax entity are they? And then you can also put in links to client-specific resources like SmartVault or Dropbox or ShareFile, or and this will launch the client-specific folder. So it saves time. Maybe a link to the Slack channel that you share with the client. Whatever it is, you can put that information in the vault. Everything in the vault, the firm can attach a security level to. So that's going to control who on your team can see that vault entry. There's 8 levels of permissions in Aero. It controls what parts of Aero you can access, but also what you can see in the vault.
Okay.
Okay, so when I'm done working on the task, I have the choice of saving it and completing it, but I can also save and defer it. So I can say, I'm not done. I've got to come back to it later, maybe another day. But I can also pass it over to another person on the team. So maybe it's my responsibility to do the first 5 steps on the checklist, and then somebody else does the next part. So you can easily pass a task back and forth. All of that time for the task is tracked under the task and who did it. I don't know where I was going with that. No, but you can easily pass the task back and forth.
Right.
All right. So
and I think that's a good, when you're doing approvals and stuff like that.
Because you need to be precise, and people make mistakes. So you want the ability to review a task, but you don't want a job or a task to review something until it's done. So that's how you can notify your manager, somebody, that it's time to review what you've done.
Exactly.
The other side of Aero is giving the firm visibility into the status of client work. So with the right permission level, of course, you have an overview of what everybody on the team is doing for the day, what the status is, why, if it's been deferred, why. Is it in progress? Somebody's working on it right now. It hasn't not been started. And then, of course, there's all kinds of reporting information in Aero based on that time tracking data and the status, and you can see, what's been completed, what did everybody do today, when was the last time we touched all of our customers? Do we need to send out some emails? Also, profitability. Fixed fee job costing. So based on that time tracking data, again, tracking your firm's profitability and controlling. Sexy.
Yes.
Absolutely sexy.
Right here.
Yes. No, wait, sexier. If your Aero account is connected to your QBO account, we'll give you a report with the Aero time tracking and what has been billed in your QBO account. That's invoices and sales receipts.
Right.
And so this is going to include, fixed fee, billable, all of that is going to be in here and give you a total margin on the client.
Nice.
Isn't that nice? The Aero QBO sync, customers sync back and forth both ways. Of course, the time tracking data is available to sync. That's up to you.
Okay.
I
saw something about a dashboard up there. Is there a dashboard?
There is, but in this environment, it takes a long time to load, so I'm not going to load it.
Okay. Maybe we'll do that some other time.
Each person has their own dashboard, which will go faster right now. So you have your own dashboard where you can arrange the way you see your tasks to your liking.
Awesome. Library.
A firm can, of course, create their own procedures and checklists, right? And you create your own templates. But Aero has a full library of templates and procedures that are already created for you, step by step.
And this is another subscription that you can get, right?
Well, kind of. So the base subscription includes about 45 library templates. Okay. So a really good amount of content. Right. We have currently 110 templates in the library. That if you want the full library, it's an extra fee. Okay. So, 2 levels of content. The step-by-step instructions are all written for you. With resources. Procedure guides, all of that stuff is in there and available. You can just click a button, schedule the library task as a template as a task in your firm.
That's awesome.
Pricing? Should we talk about pricing?
Sure, go for it.
All right. So the Aero pricing is by firm size. So we have packages. We don't charge per user. Okay. So small firm would be 2 to 5 users, and it's just $79 a month. Now that premium content in the library would add $40 a month to your subscription.
Right. But you're going to save people how much time by having those templates?
A ton of time. And it's in our library, we don't have some programmer scraping the knowledge base for Bill.com.
No, you have,
our templates are written by Judy McCarthy, Laura Redmond, Victoria Cameron, people who know what they're doing, right? And using this process in their own firm to pay bills or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's priceless.
Yeah. So the people who use these apps, and that's the reason we have it as an extra fee, because not everybody uses the apps in the premium content.
Right.
And so...
Because I remember before there was some Expensify stuff, and there's some other stuff.
Oh, yeah. So if you go to our website and just want to check out the library, you can do that.
You can do it.
So you go to the features, and on the library page, you can see all of the apps that are currently in our library.
Nice.
And then you can kind of scroll through. Obviously, you can't use them, but you can see what they are.
Right.
And a little description of what it is going to accomplish for you. So you can just scroll through and see all of our templates that we have in the library.
Love it. Awesome. Well, thank you for your time.
Thank you so much for sharing this with everybody.
Yeah, we love it. We love that you guys are sponsors of QBOchat. So
love QBOchat.
We love you guys, and we'll have to do more, learn more about it.
Yeah.
So, awesome.
All right. Thank you.